So guys, today we are going to discuss one of the important concept that is CQR. So first of all, we will discuss what is CQRS. Without CQRS, how we are developing the application, why we should move to CQRS, and how you need to, how we can implement CQRS in our .NET Core applications. So let us proceed and understand first of all what is CQRS. So CQRS stands for Command Query Responsibility Segregation. So from this full form, you can completely understand what do I mean by CQRS. So when I said command, so it is specifically command means what? Now, if you design one database, so when we design one database, so generally we perform some kind of a CRUD operation. So when I said CRUD operation, what exactly it means? It means it means insert, update, delete, and a retry. So basically, these are the four operations that generally we perform over the database. So out of these four operations, what operations are going to change the data in the database? Those operations are nothing but your command. So specifically, you can say if I'm creating something, if I'm updating something, if I'm deleting something. So this is nothing but command from the CQRS point of view. So when I said command, the first thing that should comes to your mind is data changes in the database. If I'm doing some operations, if that operations, right, for example, I'm calling one endpoint and that endpoint is doing some modification in the database. So that is part of your command. Then, sir, what is query? Now, query is nothing but what I can say select operation, or you can say data retrieval operations. Data retrieval. So basically, this command represent your right. You can say data changes. So when you are going to make the data changes, and this is going to specifically data retrieval operation, no data change. No data changes. So basically, if I'm retrieving some information, get by order, get customer information, get by user details, get right order history. So these are nothing but some kind of a data retrieval information we can consider. And that kind of operation technically we call it as a query. So whenever we are performing some insert, update, delete operation, that is command. And whenever we are performing the operation, right, which is not going to impact any changes in the database, which is specifically designed for data retrieval, that is nothing but your query. So basically, this command is these things you can consider technically. Query is nothing but your data retrieval. So responsibility segregation. So segregation means what? Segregation means separation. So separation. So what exactly CQRS pattern? So basically CQRS is a architectural design pattern. So when I said architectural design pattern, so it is basically going to decide the architecture of your application. So this architectural design pattern, what exactly it is telling? It is telling, please separate your command related operations from the query related operations. So responsibility means operation. So whatever operations, right, you are doing with the command, and whatever operations, query related operation, please separate them. Don't put them inside a single service class or technically within a single served class, right? For example, so if we take our example, so currently within our order application, so we are having one service class. So if you look at this order service class, so now this order service class implement iOrder service interface. If you go to the iOrder service interface, so currently this service typically it is performing the CRUD operation. So basically the traditional way of working is CRUD operation. So traditional way is typical CRUD operation. So basically if you look at this traditional way, right, what exactly it means? It means it is performing the CRUD operation. So in this order service, so I'm creating one order. I'm creating the order details by ID. I'm confirming, I'm getting the orders by user. I'm getting the order status, particular order details. I'm confirming the order. I'm getting the order based on some filter, and I'm changing the order status. So these are the different operations that what I am performing over the order. But all these operations I'm putting inside a single service class. Now, this service class, I order service, or if you go to this order service class, it is combining two responsibility. What are the responsibility? Now, all the, right, what I can say, all the command related operations plus all the right query related operations, everything we are putting inside this single service class. Now, as we are putting everything inside this single class, now look at the number of code. So the number of a source code or the number of code we have written here is very high. So this is against the, right, what I can say, this is against the CQRS pattern. So basically, this is the traditional way of defining application. So generally, we perform all the CRUD operation within a single service class. This is against the right. This is against the CQRS pattern. So what CQRS pattern saying? Now for each operation, define the right separate, right, based on the type of operation. Whether it is a, for example, if you take the I-order service class. So from this I-order service class, you can define, so create order. So this create order, this create order means what? It is going to do some changes in the database or not? Definitely, it is going to create one order. It will going to make entry into the order status table. It is going to deal with the products rate service to reduce the product stock quantity. All these things. That means it is impacting the database state. It is updating. It is modifying the data into the database. So this means this is part of your command. Similarly, if you look at this get order by ID method, is this method going to make any changes in the database? No, it is simply going to retrieve the data. So as it is simply going to retrieve the data, so basically this is part of your query. Similarly, get order by user. So for a particular user, whatever all orders are available, that what I'm retrieving, definitely it is part of query. So get order status history for a particular order, how that order rate change from one step to another. That completely history if you want to see this method. So definitely it is also not going to make any changes in the database. It is also part of the ready query. So confirm order. So definitely it is going to update the order status, right? From pending to confirm. So as it is modifying the state, it is part of your command. Get orders. So based on the filter. So for example, admin wants to check all the pending orders of a particular date range, all the cancelled order. So for that purpose, this method we provided, and this method is also not going to make any changes into the database. So it is part of your query. So change order status. So from right received to delivered, from delivered to confirm, right, whatever pending to confirm, confirm received to delivered, how you are going to make the changes. For that purpose we are using this method. So definitely it is also part of your command. So when I said command means, if that operation going to make any changes into the database, that is command. And when I'm saying query, query means if it is performing a data retrieval operation without making any changes into the database. Segregation means separation, means what? Now, whatever the command related operation, please separate them from the query. So don't mix multiple things within a single service class like the way we are creating now. So we are currently implementing all these functionalities right within a single service class. So now if someone asks you what do you mean by command and what do you mean by query, so you have to tell this. So basically, CORE stands for Command Query Responsibility Segregation. It is a architectural design pattern which says that separate the logic that changes the data. So whatever the logic you are having, which is going to modify the data, so that is also called as command, from the logic that reads the data. So if you are having both the logic, right, some logic. So when I'm saying logic means what? You can consider some method, right? So those method which you are performing the read operation, please separate there from the method which you are performing the write operation. If you look at this, so command, right? Command means create, update, delete. So when I'm saying command, it is going to change the data. It is not going to make, it is going to change the data. When I'm saying query, query means it is going to read the data. If you take the lemon example, waiter, and this is the chief. So waiter means you are giving order to the waiter, and order waiter will give you the information. You'll ask, can you give me the menu? Waiter is going to give you the menu list. But when you place the order, that order is going to be prepared by the chief. Chief is going to modify preparing the food, right? That means chief. So in this example, waiter is going to be your query, which is going to give you information. Chief is going to be command, who is going to prepare the data. So basically, So when I'm saying command means you can consider create, update, delete. When I'm saying queries means paste the data, view data, search operations, right? And when I'm saying command, here you need to implement business logic. Here you need to implement validation logic. Here you need to ensure data consistency, all these things. And when I'm saying queries means it should be fast. It should be retrieved as soon as possible. There should not be any data changes in the database. So one side changes data while the other side reads the data without making any changes into the database. So this is nothing but your command query responsibility segregation. So command responsibility completely separate from the query responsibility. Clear?
Yes.
Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now why we need? See, already if you see, already we have this order service which is working as expected. Then why should I use this CQRS pattern? See, so million of browser and searching records, right? So for example, if you take one huge e-commerce website, so from that website, millions, right? So let's assume 80% functionalities are going to be search functionality and 20% functionalities are going to be right command functionality, or you can say update, insert, delete functionality. So you are browsing product, you are searching many products, but how many times you are placing the order? So if you compare, if I'm searching 10 times, I'm placing one order one time. That means the issue ratio is going to be 10 is to 1, or you can say 90 right, if you right, or you can say 80% search functionality, 20% is going to be right update, or you can say command functionality. So basically, if you want to handle the complex code, if you want to difficult to scaling, for example, now this code is very complicated. So everything I'm putting inside a single class. So it might be possible that some of the model I'm using for the right read operation, in the same model I might be using for the write operation. If I'm using the same model for doing both operation, read operation as well as write operation, or you can say if I'm using the same DTO for read operation and write operation, it will make you confusing. For example, some of the properties are required in read but not required in write. Then what I need to do? I need to put them, even though I'm not using those read properties in one of the operations. Again, that as the code becomes very long and very complex, right? It is very difficult to manage. So managing this code is going to be very difficult. And secondly, right, in most of the, not in our application, but sometimes what happens, right, in real-time application, your read database is different and your write database is going to be different. So basically, different in the sense what? Now, whatever the transaction you are going to do, you are going to do in the write database. So as soon as you are doing that operation on the write database, that replica will be created into the read database. So when you are performing the read operation, the data will be retrieved from the read database. So that architecture also implemented in real-time application, right? Have anyone used such kind of architecture? Have you ever created any kind of a replica of your database? Whatever the data I'm inserting into my original database, a replica is going to be immediately created, right? I mean, the same data, it is also putting into the replica database. And whatever the right transaction operations I'm doing, that is going to be on the write database. And whatever the read operation I'm performing, that is going to be from the read database. Anyone implemented such kind of architecture? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
I am
that
using
is
that in recent project.
exactly. So basically, right, if you are implementing right some complex application, right, if you are implementing some complex application, then CQRS pattern is recommended. But if your application is not that complex, and if your application is not getting right so many traffics per second, then CQRS is not recommended. The simple CRUD operation tile services is recommended. But yes, if you are developing complicated microservices based architecture, where you can expect write millions of requests per minute or per second, then to get the performance benefit and to handle, to make your application code right easily manageable, right, you can go with the course architecture. Right, you need to go with this architecture. So now let us try to understand how this application is going to be implemented. Guys, remember, To implement CQRS pattern, we are going to use something called a MediatR. So this is a library which is going to implement, right, course architecture in .NET Core application. So how it is going to implement, I will show you practically. Let us try to understand the architecture. So first of all, what you need to do? So you need to define the command. So basically, three things is required. One is the command, and the second one is command handler. Then next thing is queries. Then queries handler. Yes. Anyone saying anything? Queries handlers. Then another one is MediatR. So let us try to understand what. So command means what? Guys, remember command means what? It defines the intent and data. It defines the intent and data. Sir, what do you mean by intent and data? Now, for example, what operations you are going to perform, what data you are expecting from the service or controller, what data you are going to return to the caller of that, right, to the caller. So that's what you need to define within the right command. No business logic, only signature, no business logic. Clear? So command means what? Now it is going to define what operations you are going to perform, and for each operation, what data you need and what data you are going to return. For example, I'm going to create one order. So I can create one command, create order command. I'm going to update the order. I want to create one command, update order command. I want to confirm the order. I can create one command, confirm order command. I want to change the status or read change status command. So that should you define as command. But again, sir, what are the things I need to define within command? So command means what? Intent and data. But most importantly, this is going to be, right, should perform this operation. So command, when I'm saying command, command means it should perform this operation. So it should create, update, and delete data. So basically, whatever operation, for example, if you take this iProduct service class. So for this iProduct service class, right, what I need to do? So how many command I need to define? So that how many command you need to define means you need to figure out how many method are there which is going to perform some kind of a DML operation on the database. So one is create order, another one is confirm order, another one is change order. So basically these three methods are there in within this order service class, which is going to update the data into the database or not. Yes or no? If you are getting confused, let me put these three methods, right, one after another. Yes or no? These are the three methods which is going to make some changes into the, right, what I can say, uh, database or not.
Yes. It's update
Right.
the database. Create entry
So
in database
basically
and
what
update entry.
exactly. Basically what you need to do, you need to create a create order command, the class name something like this. So based on this command, you can specify, based on this name, you can explicitly tell, yes, this command is for creating a new order. So this is a confirm order async method. So you can create a confirm order command. So based on the name, you can tell, right? Naming convention is very, very important. So based on the name, you should tell what this method is going to, I mean, what this command is going to perform. So in this case, a create order command, confirm order command, change order status. Similarly, for create order command, whatever the data required, these are the data. And whatever the response you want to return, order response respond. So basically, whenever you are creating this create order command, you have to create the command class in such a way it should take this request data and it should return this response. Clear? But here, most importantly, what is right? You need to define that no business logic. So here, no business logic. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So this is intent and data, and here no business logic. So then for each command, right, what you created, right, then for that command, that business logic you need to define within the specific handler. So handler is nothing but your, right, contains the actual business logic. So basically, what you can see now, you can see this is the method signature we define. And if you go to the order service class, so this is my create order method. So within this method, I have written my business logic. Yes or no? Similarly, within the confirm order method, I have written my business logic. Then for this, in this case, this command handler are nothing but what I can say, the class which is going to implement the business logic. And more importantly, one handler is created for one command. So as I am having three commands, so how many handlers I need to create? I need to create three handlers. Right? Yeah, I need to create three handlers. What are the handler? That naming convention is create order command handler. Right. Similarly, you need to create right one confirm order command handler, and here you need to create the change order status. And this handler is going to contain the actual business logic. Clear?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Again, this is also going to define the right intent and the data. So whatever the data, I mean, you want to uh, take, and whatever the data you want to define, or most importantly, this is for right read operation. So this is for read operation, right? Read operation, and in this case, there is no data changes, right? So in this case, what I need to do now? Now for my right I order service, how many methods are there which are going to perform the read operation? Get by order ID. So what
Four
I need to
methods.
do? I need to define right one query for each operation. So get by order ID query. Similarly, what I need to do? Then I need to define right get orders by user query. Then I need to define get order status history query. Right? For each right, I mean each query is going to perform a specific operation. Get orders query. Right? So once I have the query, then what I need to do? I need to create the corresponding handler. So here only signature, right? So here no business logic, right? Right here no business logic. And for implementing the business logic, what I need to do? I need to create the corresponding handler. So now what you need to do? You need to create the handler. So how now here get order by query handler, get order status query handler, this handler and that handler, right? So this core handler you need to create. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
So what this handler is going to contain? What our service class method it containing? So whatever the logic we have written here, right? This logic is going to be contained by the right handler code. How to implement? I will show you practically. Then, sir, what is the use of a MediatR now? Now, currently, if you look at our controller code, so currently, if you look at our controller code, order controller, it is making use of a IORDER service. And using that IORDER service, it is calling the service method. But now I don't want to use this service method. Rather than my handler is going to handle the code. Then in that case, what I need to do, this mediate R, right? Right, this mediate R, I'm going to use this mediate R send method. So this mediate R instance, I need to create. Mediate R instance you need to create. And to this metadata instance, you need to provide the command object. So to this metadata instance, what you need to do, you need to provide the command object. For example, I provided create order command instance. So I provided the create order command instance. So when I provided this create order command instance, then what exactly this metadata is going to do? The metadata are going to check who, which handler implement this create order command. So it is basically implemented by this create order command handler. So within this handler method, we are going to define one method. That method name is going to be handle. So in each handler class, we need to define one method. That method name is going to be handle, and that handle method, right, going to be execute, and then within that handle method we have written our logic. Similarly, if I create an instance of this get orders query, right, this query handler, then not handler, this query, then for this right gets order query, which handler implement the logic, this is the handler. So within this handler, that handle method is going to be execute automatically. So now my application, the controller doesn't know which handler implement the logic. The controller have no idea. Just the controller needs to tell, okay, create order command. So please create the order. So that command I am providing, and that command is going to be implemented by one handler, and that handler is going to implement the actual business logic. So now if you look at this one, so within the controller, we are going to have some action method. So some of the action method going to perform command operation, some of the action method is going to perform the query operation. Whether it is a command or query, that command object and query object we need to pass to the MediatR. And that MediatR, suppose I pass this create order command, then that mediate method, right, MediatR going to execute that create order command handler. If I pass a get order by ID query instance, then it is going to execute the handler which is implement this get order by ID query. Clear?
Yes.
Right? So this is how you need to implement, right? So now let us proceed and implement this, right, step by step in our application. So guys, I have already shared this document, right? This theoretical part you can read, right, when to use, right, and there is a question session discussion, right? I have already shared this document. Just read it, you will understand. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement this practically in our application. Clear? Okay.
Yes.
Right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to implement this CQRS pattern in our order service. The same order service what we implement, there is only I'm going to implement. So in order service, we are having some write operations, or you can say command, that is create order, confirm order, and change order status. And we are also going to have some read operation, that is get order by ID, get orders by user, read get orders, get orders history. So this is what we need to implement right now. Now we need to understand, right, how to implement. We have already discussed to implement this mediate CQRS pattern. We are going to use a package that is called MediatR. So now here you need to understand three things. What are the things? What is command? What is queries? How to create a command? How to create a query? What is a handler? I mean, how to create a query handler and how to create a command handler, and how MediatR is going to use the command. That's what we need to understand. So let us first understand the syntax, and then I'm going to show you how to implement this in our application, right? So how to create a command? Command means this is the syntax. Public class create order command, and this public class create order command. So whenever you are creating any command, then that command should inherited from I request object of a T. Sir, what is this I request of T? This is the syntax, and this syntax explicitly specify that this command is going to return one response of this type. So here I request order response DTO means this request is going to return a response of this type. What type of a response? Order response DTO. So using this I request, what you need to specify? You need to specify what this method, what the corresponding handler is going to return. So create order command, using I request, you can specify, you can explicitly tell that the corresponding handler is going to return a response of this type, order response DTO. Clear? Clear?
Yes. Yes.
Right. And again, what is the syntax saying? Now, whatever the input object your command you want to pass. So generally what happening? Now, whenever we are creating any command, I mean, if you look at any service class method, right, any right, I order service. So here, this is nothing but the input data, and this is going to be the output. So this is input and this is output. So basically, What, sir, using this I request, I can specify what the method, right, what the corresponding handler is going to return. But what data I'm going to pass, right, while creating the command object, you need to pass. For example, you want to pass one DTO of order requested, order requested DTO. So that instance you need to pass here. So once you pass that instance, that is going to be stored inside this private read-only variable. That's very, very important. Whenever you are implementing the CQRS pattern, whatever the request object you defined within the command, that must be read only. What is the importance of making this read only? Now, once the command object is created, you cannot change the request object. Request object, it is carrying the data. So once it carries the data, that is going to be constructed through the constructor. After the object is created, you cannot modify the request object. Response, that is going to be set by the handler, but the request can never be modified. Clear? So to make sure, to ensure, once the object is created, you should not modify the request object. We are just making this as a get accessor. We are only providing this get, which makes this as a immutable object, so which cannot be modified once after created, and that can only be set when you are creating that instance. Clear?
Is it compulsory to name it as request?
Yes, this is otherwise a MediatR will not understand what the handler is going to return. That will not be understood by MediatR if you do not specify type using I request.
Oh, no, not for that, because it inherited from my request. But for create order request TTO, is it compulsory to name it as request, alias of the
Name you
TTO?
can give anything. See, this parameter name you can give anything. So request, right, request DTO. If you want to create order request DTO, whatever name. This request, it is just a name. But the type is important. No, parameter name is not important. Whatever name you want, you can give. Instead of request, if you can give my request, right? If you want, you can give your order request. Anything is fine. Clear?
Yeah,
Hey Kumar.
thank you.
Hey Kumar, one more thing. Are you able to hear me? This is Arul here.
Yes, please tell me.
Okay, so I think to nowadays, for making it to be immutable, people are using heavily on the records
Yes. The
instead of
records, people are
creating.
using records. That is
Yeah,
absolutely fine, right? But
yeah,
why I'm not using record here? Now, I
yeah.
assume, right, whoever attending my session, they might not understand that new concept record. But
Okay.
100%, you can use record, you can use class, anything is fine.
Yeah.
And
So actually, yeah. So if you go with the record as opposed to using class, so it actually honors the value objects, those things, right? In especially in clean architecture.
yes. That is the reason why we are marking this as a get request, right? To know set
Yeah.
parameter. But absolutely, you can use record. Why I'm not using record? Because many members, right, those who are new to .NET, right, they might not know the concept record. They
Yeah,
will
yeah.
get only
So it
read.
is going forward, it is a best practice to use records
Yes,
where, in place of
yes.
DTOs.
Sure. Right,
Yeah.
100% you can make use of records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So this is clear, right? How to create the command? What is the syntax? Clear, guys?
Yes,
Prince,
clear.
Yes.
I have
Yes.
one doubt.
Yes, please.
The order response DTO is the return from the handler, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
And from
so
the
you can
handler means
consider.
it's
So you can consider this create order command going to return order response DTO. That's as simple as it is. And whatever the request object required by the create order command, so you are creating a property and you are initializing that property through the constructor. Through the constructor, you are taking the input object, and through I request, you are right specifying what type of data this command is going to return.
so return means in the handler again it is reading from the database, right?
So,
How is
all
it?
right, I will show you how it is going to return by the handler. That part I am not yet cover. I'll show you the syntax also. But for now, from the create command, from the command point of view, is that clear or not?
Yes.
Yes,
Get what?
clear. Yeah.
Yes.
Right now. Now for read operation, what you need to do? You need to create the right same get order by ID query. So again, right, that syntax is going to be same. Get order by ID query. Here you can see I'm specifying I request order response DTO. What is the difference? The naming convention is different. So here I'm providing command, create order command, which is going to tell this is a command which is going to perform some DML operation. If I'm specifying get order by ID query, from the name itself, I can tell this command is going to perform the read operation. So whatever the data required for performing the operation, GUI, right, order ID. That's what I'm taking through the constructor and initializing this variable. And after performing the operation, whatever the data I want to return, that's what I'm specifying using this I request. And here, most important, you can say I'm specifying this order response DTO as a nullable type. Right? This question mark ensure that after performing the operation, if the order is not available, if it is an invalid order, that handler, right, can return a null value. Clear?
Yeah.
Right. Now we need to define the handler. Handler means this is the heart of the CQRS pattern where the actual business logic is going to reside, and this handler is going to be executed by the MediatR. So how MediatR will execute, I will show you, right, in some time. But here that the command handler. So here you can see any name you can give anything, but recommended is whatever your command name. So you can see in this case create order command, and to this create order command, I'm just appending this name handle. So this will become my handler. And here it is inherited from I request handler. And to this I request handler, I can specify the command object and the response. And here that command object is going to be create order command. So here you can see whatever the command name that what I can specify. This is the signature that what you need to follow. And this command, what data it is going to return, that what you need to specify here. So this is going to my handler. So what exactly it means? Now based on this handler, now when I'm passing this create order command, when I'm passing this create order command to MediatR, so MediatR will scan, right, the handler, which handler implement this create order command. And in this case, this create order command handler inherited from this create order command. So this handle method is going to return. And here you can see using this I request handler, I have specified the return type, order response DTO. So whatever the return type you specified here, that handle method is going to return that data. So here order response DTO means the return type of this handle method is going to be task of order response DTO. And here the first parameter is the command. So this is the command object. Why I'm passing this first parameter? Because based on this command object, I can access the order ID. I can access, right, this request object. I mean the request DTO, right? So once you have the command object, so from that command object, you can access the request DTO, and using that request DTO, you can implement your business logic. After implementing the business logic, whatever the data you want to return, you can return. Clear? This syntax is
Kumar,
clear?
Kumar, one more point to add here. Okay, so this is the place where the mediator is beautifully tied up with your command. So that particular I request handler takes in the request and the response. Request is nothing but the command itself. So this is
Yes.
where the connection is happening. Okay.
I will come to that part. MediatR I have not yet discussed.
Yeah. Actually, moment you are using I request handler is the interface from the mediator.
Yes. That
So you are
why
implementing it.
right? Because till now I have not covered that MediatR point, right? I'll come to that point MediatR in some time. But for now, till now I have not right it touched that MediatR concept. So what you need to understand, if a class is right, whatever handler you created here, if that handler is inherited from I request handler, then that is going to be understood by MediatR only. So MediatR, right? How it is going to be handling in some time I'm going to show you. And for example, if I'm sending this command, right? I'm sending this command from the controller, mediator.send. So here I'm specifying a new create a command. So when I'm specifying the new create order command, then mediator will look for the class file
That's right.
which is
That's right. That's right.
inherited.
That's see,
Yes,
that's
that
right,
class
Kumar.
file.
See,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. So this is your mediator.send is your command, and that command will be handled go above,
Send is
go
not,
above.
mediator is not the command. This is just the, what I
No,
can
no, no.
say, a
Send is the
messaging.
command. Send is the
Not send.
command.
No, send is not the command. Command is this one. Send, mediator is nothing but your messaging, which is going to take the message from one place to another place, which is going to decide for this particular message where I need to deliver the message. Right? For example, if you are sending some post, right? So if you are sending some letter, right, to your friend, or if you are sending some gift to your friend, right, then you are sending the gift. Then the courier company is nothing but your mediator. That courier company will know, right, once the
Understood?
courier company, right, pick your right gift,
Uh,
where to deliver that gift. That is going to
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
defined by this command.
Yeah. That is
Right?
all
So
understood. That is all understood. Okay. So if you're thinking mediator way, send is the command. Handler is actually send is taking your command as an input. I mean the create order command is the request.
hey,
To the
you just tell me one more thing, right? Before
yeah.
going further, without
Hmm.
MediatR, can I implement CQRS pattern?
No.
You can implement.
See, mediator is used in the CQR
Hey,
pattern, CQRS
no, no,
pattern.
that is no, it's not mandatory.
CQRS, see, CQRS is the concept, okay,
It's
or
yes,
is a
CQRS
pattern.
is the concept. For implementing CQRS, we are using iMediator library. So without using
Exactly.
iMediator, yeah, without
Yeah,
using this iMediator library, right? We are
yeah.
implementing. Then
It's a
without
neutral factor.
iMediator also, it is possible to implement CQRS. That is
Yeah.
also
Go ahead.
possible,
Yeah, go
right?
ahead. Go ahead with your flow. Yeah.
Yeah. So right, in this case, whatever the command we defined, this is command. That is the reason why, right? If you are saying this send is the command, then why you are giving this class name as command? Create order command, get by order ID query, right? So in this case, can I consider the send method as the query? No. So this send method, it is nothing but your, right, what I can say, messenger. So which is going to take your message, and this messenger is also going to decide which handler is going to handle this message, right? So in this case, when I'm sending, right, when I'm saying, right, when I'm passing this create order command to this mediator R, right, mediator, then this
Mhm.
mediator will decide, right, for this create order command, who is the handler that can handle this message. Then it will
Understood.
look for all the class file, right, all the class file which are inherited from iRequest handler, and that iRequest handler, right, should have this command object, should take this command object. And in this case, for this particular request, so it will look for all the handler file which is taking order create order command. So in this case, is this handler taking create order command? No. Then is this class file taking create order command? Yes. Then what exactly this rate send method internally will going to do? So it will internally execute the handle method, and while executing the handle method, whatever the data, right, whatever the request object you are passing, that request object it will pass to this command object, and I mean to this command parameter, and then within this method, whatever the logic you have written, that logic is going to be execute, and at the end, whatever the response type this method is going to return, at what you can return, what you need to specify here. So here, whatever the response you specified, that response will return here. Similarly, right, the same concept in the case of right, what I can say, query handler. So here you can say whatever. See, we are just giving the name as handler and query for our internal satisfaction. Otherwise, right, whatever name you want, you can give. It is not mandatory that you should give the name as command. You should give the name as handler. Anything you can give. But looking at this name, we can safely say that this is the command object. This is the command handler. This is the query object. This is the query handler. And MediatR, this is nothing but what I can say, right? This is the messenger. So what exactly MediatR are doing internally? So based on the command object, right? Based on the command object, it finds the correct handler. It executes the handler's logic by executing the handle method, right? By executing the handle method, then it returns the result to the caller. Whoever call this method, it will return that result, right? So everything is happening. There is no dependency between your controller code and the handler. Why? Because of this immediate R. right? So how the flow is going to be? Now, if I'm specifying this create order command, then it will execute this handler logic, right? It is looking for this one. For get order by ID query, it is going to look for this one, right? So then it runs the handler's handle method, and whatever the data it wants to return, that's what it is going to return. So, right, I just want to make you ensure MediatR is not going to be your, right, what I can say, right, command. So it is just a library to implement, right, CQRS pattern. CQRS pattern means these are the things that what you need to take into consideration. Command, queries, and a queries handler. So mediate are just a way to invoke the right respective handler by passing the respective command. Clear?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So now, right, let us proceed and see how we can implement this in our project, right? So first of all, what I need to do, I need to install the package. Which package? MediatR. Where I
MediatR.
need to install the package? So basically, this package I need to install in my project two locations. What are the location? First of all, where you need to write the command, where you need to create the command, where you need to write the business logic. So that is nothing but in our application order service dot application. Second, we need to invoke the MediatR from our controller. So we also need to install that package within our order service API. Also, we need to configure the same within the program class. So basically, at two different project, I need to install the package. One, where we are going to register MediatR in the request processing pipeline. Second, where we are going to create the command, where we are going to create the queries and command handler. So basically, within our order service API project, as well as within our order service application project. So within these two projects, we need to handle, right? Why in the application? Because here we are going to create the commands, where we are going to create the queries and the handler. Why order service? Because this is where we will register MediatR into the dependency injection container. So let me start installing this one, this package. So go to the package manager solution. So
So you
already
are
order
using clean
service.
architecture, huh?
Sorry. Yes.
You are using clean architecture, huh?
Yes. Clean architecture. This is the recommended one.
Yeah.
So you have to install this order service API. The next project is going to be order service application. Yeah. So we need to install these two packages. So once we create these packages, next what we need to define, we need to define our commands. We need to define our queries. We need to create, what I can say, our handlers for commands as well as handler for queries. So let us first add a folder called order. So let me first create the folder structure. So where we need to define all these things within our order service application project. So let me first create one folder called order. So any folder structure you want, you can create. And within this orders folder, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another subfolder called commands, another subfolder called queries, right? So within the commands folder, I'm going to create all my command classes. Within the queries folder, I'm going to create all my queries classes. Then also I'm going to create something called handlers, right? So let us proceed and also create the folder structure, right? So basically, I'm going to create my handlers here. But again, there are two type of a handler. One is a command and another one is going to be queries.
Query.
So this is the folder structure. So by looking at the folder, right, you can decide where to put what. So let us proceed and implement the application code. So first of all, let me create the create order command. So create order command. So where I need to create this command within the commands folder. So go ahead and create a class file. So this is going to be your create order command. So what the things we need to put inside this one? Only the intent and the data. Intent and data, no business logic. So let's see. So this is my create order command. The syntax, it is going to return the order response DTO. So this is the request object. And internally, right, when I'm communicating with other microservices, I need the access token. That access token is also going to be supplied to this command object. And within this create order command, I'm initializing this request object as well as I'm initializing this access token. If this request is null or access token is null, I'm throwing the exception. I'm not proceeding further. Why? Because these two parameters are mandatory parameter, not an optional parameter. Clear?
Yeah.
Clear? So this is going to my create order command. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create my confirm order command. So let me go ahead, confirm order command. So for confirming the order, right, whatever the data required. So now if you want to, if you are right on not understanding it, close other tabs, right? See, for create order, see, for like we have already implemented this iOrder service. For create order, we need these two things, request and access token. That is the reason why while I'm creating this one, right, while I'm creating this one, I'm taking the request and the access token. Now tell me, for confirm order, how many parameters are required? Order ID and
Order
access
ID and
token.
access token.
Right? So here also you can say I'm not taking the right any DTO. I'm taking the order ID and the access token. Most importantly, it is going to return me Boolean value indicating whether the order is confirmed or not. So the return type is going to be Boolean type. Clear?
Yeah.
Right. So this is the confirm order command what we created. Next one is a change order status command. So let me go ahead and create rate change order status command. So let me go ahead and also get this one. Guys, I have provided the comment line, right? Just read it, you will get more clarity. See, for changing order status, if you look at this, for changing order status, what I need the change order requested DTO. And if you go to the definition, we need the order ID, whatever the new status, who changed it and remark. So these are the data that is required for changing the order status. And what it is returning? It is returning the change order status response DTO, where it is going to tell order ID what is the old status, what is the new status, changed by, changed at, all these things it is going to return. So what I'm doing here, I'm doing the same thing, right? For change order status, it is taking the request DTO, right? Change order request DTO. And here it is going to return this change order status response DTO. And whatever the requested DTO, that's what I'm initializing. And I'm throwing an exception if this request object is not. It is mandatory to have this parameter. Clear? Clear,
Yeah.
guys? So these are my command, right? Now what I need to do, I need to implement this handler. So basically this order service is done. So now I need to implement this handler. So we have already implemented our business logic. So if you go to our services classes, so if you go to order service, we have already discussed how to create an order, right? The complicated logic. So I'm not going to explain this logic again, right? Because we have discussed this many logic many times, how to implement the confirm order method. So how to implement the change order statics method, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this code, right? I'm going to use the same code, but within our handler. So how we can do this? Let us try to understand. So create order confirmed handler. So now what I'm going to do, I need to create a create order, uh, right? A command handler. So it should be created within this commands folder. So handlers commands folder. So create a class file, create order command handler. So within this class file, right, we need to implement the uh, business logic. The same business logic what we have implemented, the same logic we are going to implement here. So I'm not going to explain this business logic. I hope, right, why I'm getting this error. One error is there. product ID, quantity, unit price. So name is not there, so you can remove this one, right? So this is the same business logic, right? If you look at this now, right, this is my syntax, right? So class name, it should inherited from the I request handler. The first parameter is going to be the right command name, and the second parameter is going to be the return type. I mean the data what I'm going to return. So for doing the operation, it is going to make use of orders repository, user service, product service, payment service, master data. It is going to retrieve for doing automapper, for reading the configuration, for publishing the event, right? For logging the data. So all these things are required, and all these things I'm initializing through the constructor, right? So now within the business logic, first of all, what you need? You need the request and access token. So that request I'm accessing from the command object, accessing the access token from the access token property. I'm ensuring the request is not null. Now, if you look at the order object, right, service, right? So it is doing the same thing. Request is not null items, right? After this, once you get this command object and a token data, request and response, the rest of the things are going to be same. So the way we have written this business logic, the same way, right? We are writing this business logic, right? After doing all these things, right? Finally, it is going to return the DTO, right? That response DTO, it is going to return similar to this method, right? Here also, right? It is going to return the which method is this? It is going to return the order TTO. So similarly, it is going to return the order TTO. So nothing different. So whatever way we have implemented this in the order service, the same logic we have implemented here. Clear? So basically, what the point that what you need to remember, whatever the handler you implement, that handler is nothing but going to contain your actual business logic, validation logic. If you directly write the data access logic, that's fine. But as for the clean architecture, we are going to define the repository classes within the infrastructure layer, and that repository we are going to invoke from here on. Clear? Clear, guys?
Yeah.
Right. So now next I need to create my confirm order handler. So basically within this commands folder, let me go ahead and create a class file, confirm order handler. The same concept, right? So here also we need to implement the same concept. It's a order repository, sir. Whatever the dependency is required, that those dependencies we are injecting, and in this case, it is going to handle the order, right? Confirm order command. The handle method is going to execute for the order, ready confirm order command. It is going to return a Boolean value, right? Like this one. So if you look at this confirm order, it is taking this Boolean value and it is taking the order ID and the access token. Now, if you look at this one, it is taking the confirm order command object, and from this confirm order command object, it is accessing the order ID and access token. After that, whatever the logic you have written within the service class method, same logic you have right here. Clear? Clear, guys?
Yeah.
Right. Then the
Yes.
change order status command handler. So go to this one, change order status command handler. So let me handle this. So this is going to change the order status, right? After doing all the validation, right? So concept is going to be same. So in this case, this is the command, this is the response that what it is going to return, right? So after doing the operation, it is going to return the DTO. So this is about our command. So command means they are specifically designed for right changing the data into the database. And how you are implementing this? First of all, we need to create the command. And for each command, guys, remember for each command there is a separate handler. So you cannot use multiple handler for a single command, or for two command there is going to be one handler. That is not possible. So one command, one handler. There is one-to-one relationship between the command and the handler. So if you are creating two handler with a single command, that is not possible, right? So you have to create one command, one handler. That makes sense, right? So now what I need to do, I need to create my queries, right? So handler part we have done, which is going to perform the DML operations. Now I need to create my queries. So again, let me open that iOrder service interface. So in this case, you can see I'm performing 4 read operations. So for each operations, I'm going to create a command. So one command for get order by ID, another command for get orders by user, and similarly for the rest remaining two. So let me start with the get order by ID query. So let me go ahead and within this queries folder, I need to create a class file, get order by ID query. The syntax is going to be same, right? There is no difference. The syntax is going to be common. So here you can see the class name, it should inherited from the I request. And with I request, whatever the data you want to return, that what you can specify. Whatever the input parameter required, that what you need to create a variable with only get accessor and initialize that through the constructor. So this is get order by ID query. Similarly, you need to create a get order by user query. So within this queries folder, go ahead and create one more class file, get order by user query. And this is going to return all the orders of a particular user. It is also implementing the pagination. So if you look at this iOrder service, get orders by user, it is taking the user ID, page number, and page size. So 3 input parameter. So here this is going to return, and what is important here, the return is paginated result DTO. So in this case, this paginated result, you can see what is the total count, page number, page size, and list of items, that what it is returning. And the same thing I'm also going to return from here, paginated result of this DTO. So user ID, page number, and page size I'm taking, initializing these 3 things within the constructor. Also, I'm specifying if the page number is not provided, then default value is going to be 1, page size is going to be 1. If some invalid value is provided, for example, if this page number is less than or equals to 0, or page size is less than equals to 0, then that default value I'm going to specify. So this is going to be the second query. Third query is going to be get order. So basically from the admin panel, if the admin, right, wants to see how many orders placed today, how many orders are currently in pending state, right? I mean, some dynamic filter if the admin wants. And for that purpose, I'm creating this method. So here also it is going to return a paginated result DTO. And here you can see these are the filter data it is taking, user ID, status, from the tutor and the search number. So this is what it is going to take as filter. And based on the filter, it is going to return the list of a paginated result set. Then get order status history. So this query is going to be return the different statuses that one order went through its life cycle. So initially pending, pending to confirm, right? Confirm to saved, saved to delivered. So whatever all status changes are happening for a particular order, that order details it is going to return as a list of order status history response detail, and the input parameter is going to be only order ID. If you look at this, so it is going to take order status history, order ID, and returning that list here. Clear?
Yeah.
So these are going to be my uh, queries. Now, next what I need to do, I need to implement this query handler. So let me start with the get order by query handler. Where I need to implement? So I need to implement within this queries folder, which is inside the handlers folder. So let me add a class file. So get order by query handler. So this is very simple, right? Once it receives the data, it is going to make use of operate repository class method, right? So here you can see I'm going to invoke the order repository instance. Mapper is basically used to map the right model to DTO. And here I'm initializing both the mapper and my repository. And using the repository, I'm calling this method get by ID. by passing the order ID, which is going to return me the order entity. And if that order entity is null, I'm returning null. If not null, then I'm mapping that order entity to my order response DTO, and that DTO I'm returning from here. That logic is very simple. And within this method, if you look at this get by ID method, it is implementing all the logic, right? What data you want to return. For example, I want to return order items. If is this order cancel? If cancel, then whatever cancellation item. Is this your order return? If return, whatever return items. Any cancellation policy is there? Any return policy is there? Is that item refund? If cancellation and return, then what is the refund related? Everything I'm returning as part of this get order by ID.
Kumar, as you walk through, just can you show us where are you applying on the pagination?
So this is not a pagination. This is
No, no, no.
single.
I'm asking. No, no, no. I'm asking where are you doing pagination? Just show us once.
That pagination we have not yet discussed. Now, the next handler that is going to implement pagination. So in this method, only one order I'm returning. So for one order, there is no pagination. The next
No, no,
handler
no.
that what I'm going to implement, there you only see the pagination. Because in this case, pagination will not there.
Yeah,
Na?
yeah. Just show that. Show the pagination logic is what I'm asking. That's all.
I'm going to show now. Just wait,
Okay,
because
okay.
this is not, I have not implemented that method. See, in this case, if you look at my queries, then these two methods are implemented the pagination. Get
I know, I
orders
know.
query and
I know, I
get
know.
orders by user. But get order by ID, get order status history. These two are not implemented pagination. These two are paging. In these two
Uh,
methods, I'll show you the logic.
Kumar, yeah, yeah, I know that. Yeah, just
Yeah. So get orders by query handler. So this is going to be here. I have implemented pagination, but the pagination here implemented is not the correct one, right? The correct one I will show you, right? Don't worry. So in this case, right, I'm not showing pagination here. In the next handler, I will show you the pagination, right? So here you can see it is invoking this method get user by ID method, which is going to return me the data, and I'm passing the user ID, page number, and page size, whatever the data it return, right? I'm preparing my pagination result, and I'm returning that to the column. So now in this method, get orders by query handler, I have implemented the pagination as per the industry standard. Let me show you how it has been implemented. I will show you the repository code. I will explain you the handler code as well, right? So in this case, right, it is taking the right? It is taking the filter object, right? They get orders query. So in this case, this is my right. If you look at this get orders query, it is taking this get orders filter request. So in this case, it is taking user ID, status, from date, to date, and a search term. And based on this, it is going to return the data. So now, if you go to the repository, so in this case, right, it has implemented the pagination. First of all these parameters are optional. So status, from date, to date, search parameter, all these are optional. And here page number and page size is provided. So all these parameters are optional. So how I can prepare the query? So I have to create a dynamic SQL. So how I
yes,
can create a dynamic SQL? Now by preparing the query first without executing. Once the query is prepared, then I'm going to execute. How I can? So there are two ways to execute the LinQ query. One is immediate execution. Another one is effort execution. If you are
yeah,
applying the method to list, to array, to dictionary, first or default, right? Then in that case, what will happen? The query is going to be executed immediately, right? But if you apply as a queryable, that means what? So at this point of time, the query is just prepared online, right, in memory, but not
right.
executed, right? So once I prepare, right, so here you can see this is my simple query, which is going to fetch all the data from the orders table. At this point of time, I have not applied any filter. Now, I need to check status from that to that and search parameter. If the value is provided, then I have to apply the condition. So how I can apply? If status is provided, then please apply, right, that order status ID filter. If from date is provided, please apply the from date, which should be greater than equals to. If to date is provided, please apply the to less than equals to the student. If the search parameter is provided, which is a string type, right? Then apply the search parameter,
There you
right?
go.
So,
There you go.
right?
Skip and take. Yeah.
Yeah. So once it has this, right, before executing the query, first of all, what I need to identify? I need to identify total how many records are satisfied with this query. So how many records to return is different. How many records satisfy? That what also I need to return. Why? Now, for example, based on this query, 100 records are satisfied, but I want to return 20. So 20 means total how many pages are going to be there in the UI? 5 pages. Page 1, page 2, first, next. That kind of logic they have to implement it. Then how they can implement? So for that purpose, I need to return how many total records are there and what is the current page number, what is the last page number. That information we need to return. So how we can do this? First of all, query.count async. So once I execute this, it is going to give me the total count. So it is going to return me a single value and it is going to return me a integer value which is going to tell how many total records are satisfied based on our query. So once I got this total count, then I need to execute this command. So whatever the command, order by date, if you are sorting the data, how many records to skip, how many records to paste. And once I call this to list async, again it is going to return me that number of records. And here
Correct.
I'm using a tuple to return total items and the total count. So once
Correct.
this information is written, then right you will get the total items and the total count. Then you just map this order to order TTOs and then prepare the result set. So items is this one, page number, whatever the page number data you are returning, what is the page size and the total count, how many total records are there. So based on the total record and page size, they can decide total how many pages are going to be there and accordingly they can implement the pagination in the UI. Clear?
Yeah. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
This is going to be our what I can say handle method, right? And another one is get order status history handler. So this is going to be right. It is also going to return a list, but not paginate list. Why? Because it is going to have some limited data, right? Limited means 4, 5, maximum 6 records it is going to return. So designation not required. So for a particular record, how it is going to be changed from one status to another status, that history it is going to return, and it is mapping that to order, order status history response to and returning that response. Clear, guys?
Yeah.
Right. So now, now if you look at this, so this is fine. So what I need to do now? So you have two options. If you want, right, whatever the order service method you defined, you can replace this code with our MediatR, which is going to execute the logic. If you want to keep, for example, I don't want this logic anymore. Even this is optional, right? This is optional means if you want, you can replace this logic with your MediatR. But what I'm going to do is now, if you look at this order controller, if you look at this order controller, I'm not going to make changes. If you want, you can do the changes within order service. But if you look at this order service dot controller, now the controller, what exactly it is doing, it is taking this I order service and it is performing the method, right? I mean, it is calling the order service method. So now, under this order service method means this method it is implementing. So now what I want to do is, instead of using this order service, now I
Yeah.
want to make use of a MediatR object using
Yeah.
the send method. And within the send method, I need to specify what command I need to use, along with the command what data I want to pass. So let us do these changes, right? See. So now I have to inject immediateR instead of iOrder service. Now I'm injecting immediateR. So this is the messenger which will take our command, which will decide which handler to execute. Once the handler execute whatever the data written, that mediator is also going to return the data. So how it is going to handle the things? So first of all, I'm taking the access token from the request, and then I'm using this mediator I'm calling the send method. And to the send method, what I need to do, I need to specify the command. So this is my create order method. So what is my responsibility to create an order? So what I need to do, I need to specify the create order command. And to the create order command, if you go to the constructor, so it is taking two objects, one object request and another access token. So that request object we are getting as input and that access token. So we are passing, and whatever the handler, right, that the create order handler in this case is associated with this create command, and that create order handler is going to return me the result. That result I'm returning. The same thing I'm doing here. So I'm just calling the send method, and I'm specifying the corresponding command object, and whatever the data required by the command, that's what I need to specify. Order ID, access token, right? Clear. Similarly, here you can see change order status command. Here I need to specify get order by ID query. So by looking at the command name or query name, you can tell, yes, get order by ID query means it is not a command. Not a command means it is not going to perform any DML operation. It is going to return the data. So again, right, you can see get order by user. So it is making use of this get order by user query parameter, whatever the input data required, that what it is passing. And same in the case of other method, get orders, and here get status history. That's it. Clear till now? Clear, guys?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
So once
actually in the
this is done,
yeah,
yes,
actually in the controller you are just initiating the mediator and just sending the command.
exactly. Right. And that right, and whatever command we specify, the mediator will take the responsibility to check, to scan, right? So it will scan the complete application. It will see how many handlers are there and which handler is going to handle this command. So and accordingly, that handler's handle method, it is going to execute. So once that
Correct.
handle method is executed, whatever the data is written by the handler, again this mediator will return that data to this variable.
Yeah.
Clear? Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, once this is done, the final step is to register our right mediator and all these things, right? So what I need to do, I need to register mediator R to the dependency injection container. So basically, so here I need to register my MediatR service. So builder the service that add MediatR. So what exactly this MediatR is going to do? It is going to register the services, right? So what exactly this add MediatR doing? Now it is an extension method that whereas MediatR so that it can discover our I request and request handler. So I request and what is the corresponding request handler, right? All these things it is going to scan. So how? Now this method is going to do the all things. So once I specify register service assembly, I have specified one command name here, but that doesn't mean it is going to scan only this command. So basically what exactly it means, now where this order command, create order command is available. So in this case, this is one command. This command is available uh, in which assembly, right?
Yes.
So
So it
inside that,
actually, yeah, it actually gets hold of the assembly and whatever command, so
the
that will
handlers are
be
there.
all registered.
Yes. So basically, it doesn't mean it is only going to register this create order command and its handler. So it means it will check where this command is available within that assembly. How many handlers are there? How many right commands are there? How many queries are there? All these handlers and queries, they are going to be registered into the dependency injection container. So that mediator are at runtime, he can decide for this particular command, this is the handler. For that command, that is the handler. All this information mediator R will come to know at runtime. Clear? Clear? So,
Can you say this one more time, please?
see, in this case, you just tell me this create order command is defined in which assembly? It is defined within the order service data application, right?
Yes.
So here we can see we are having different order service data API, order service data application, and this create order command we defined within the order service data application.
Yeah.
So what exactly it means? Now it means so within the order service dot assembly, order service dot assembly, order service dot application assembly, how many class files are there which is inherited from iRequest. How many class files are there which are inherited from iRequest handler? All these command classes, all these queries classes, all the handlers, they are going to be registered automatically within the dependency injection container. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we are specifying assembly means it will scan the complete assembly order service dot application. So within this assembly, these are the commands, these are the handlers, these are the queries. So all these class files and their corresponding handlers are going to be registered to the dependency injection container. Once they are registered, right, and then when we send this command, then the framework will know, this mediator will know, because it is registering the MediatR service. The MediatR service know for this command what is the corresponding handler. So he already know. So within that handler method it is going to execute. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
So this is the only changes that what we need to. Now we need to run the application. So currently we are using console service, and what API gateway we are using here. So anyone you can use. So currently, if you go to our API gateway project, see here you can see currently I'm using Oscillate. Oscillate, yeah, anyone you can use. Oscillate, right here, anyone. So we go with this Oscillate. So within the Oscillate API gateway, and we are using console as the service registry. So first of all, we need to run our console. So open the command. So we have already settled this thing, console services and all this thing. So open this one, console agent. So once this is done, next what I need to do, I need to access the console UI where all the services are going to be registered so that load balancer, right, can pick one of the healthy endpoint. So once this is done, next what I need to do, I need to run my all my services, because what I need the token. So user service must be run. I need the order service to be run so that I can create the order service. Order service communicate with the user service. Order service communicate with the product service. Order service communicate with the payment service. Order service communicate with the notification service. So basically, all of my services needs to be run along with the orchestration service. Why? Because orchestration service is specifically used for sending the notification. So let me run the application. So okay, let me first check which projects are set as startup project. I think all the projects are set as startup project. Okay. So we'll see now, right? Once the projects are registered, we'll see them in the console window.
Uh, See, nowadays people are using Aspire for orchestrating.
Mhm. But right, as per my experience, right, Aspire is fine. But
Mm.
console is also good.
Console is also kind of orchestration. I'm not aware, that's why.
Right? Orchestration. This is not orchestration. Right?
Mm.
Orchestration is something different, right? RabbitMQ, Kafka, that what we are using. This is right for registering the services. Do you know service discovery?
Yeah. So actually, Aspire is aimed for that actually. Not only service discovery, it is also, open telemetry, tracing, metrics, all that
Yeah,
is all
yeah,
incorporated into Aspire. So
exactly. That,
yeah.
that I have not yet discussed in my session, right? So we are going step by step, right? Till now, as
Yeah,
per
I know,
the
I know. I'm just giving a thought.
yeah.
Not about
So
yeah. I'm just giving
because
my thoughts.
exactly. So this complete project we are developed in the right live session only. So we are
Hmm.
going step by step. Till now we have discussed right whatever the API gateway, right, and whatever the service discovery, right, Saga
Hmm.
pattern, RabbitMQ. So all these things whatever we discussed. So till now we have not yet covered that Aspire part. So
Yeah, yeah,
definitely we are going to cover that in our coming session. So
yeah,
this all the services are registered.
yeah,
Now I can generate my token, right? So I'm hitting the right API gateway and I want to generate the token. So once the token is generated, then I can write yes, token is generated. So by taking this token, I can create one order. So let me pass the bearer token here, and then this is my request body. So in this case, right, while I'm creating the order, so I want to ensure that my handler is should execute. So which handler? So this handler method should execute. So let's put a breakpoint to ensure this handler handle the logic, not the order service dot create method. So this method should not come into the picture. So my handler is executing my application logic. That means my
Yes.
application is working as expected, right? So now
Yes. Yes.
click on this button. So you can see check product details. So this is my product service method. And here, right, can anybody tell me how it is calling this check products availability async method using what approach it is executing? In the previous session, we have only discussed gRPC. So instead of using REST client, it is using a gRPC for inter-service communication, which is going to give you better performance, right? So it is executing, and again another gRPC call. Again another gRPC call. So you can see order created successfully. Now, if you want to verify the order details, right, you can call this method, right? And this time, this is a query. So query means get order by ID query. So get order by ID query handler. This method should handle that method. So let me go ahead and execute this one. See, this is the method which is handling my application. Clear?
Yeah.
Right. So this is how you need to implement, right? What I can say, CQRS in your application using MediatR. Clear, guys?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Super.
Right. So we have discussed this. So next, two important concept we are going to discuss. One is GraphQL, and then CORS. So next two topics is going to be our GraphQL and CORS. After these two topics, we will discuss a few more advanced concepts. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Right. So till now we have discussed service discovery, API gateway, messaging, RabbitMQ, gRPC, CQRL, console, right? Saga pattern, all these things we have already covered. Clear?
I mean, this is the first day I came in here. I don't know. Where do you manage all this?
Sorry.
See, this is the first day I come into your session.
Oh, we have already taken so many sessions.
Oh, really? So from LinkedIn, actually, I got it through.
So I have taken
Same
so many
here.
sessions. So even
Uh,
I'm not sure how many total sessions are there. Most probably uh, uh, more than 40
so
sessions, I hope.
so can we have a reference to this solution? Pranya, how do I call you? Pranya Kumar.
You can call me Pranay.
Yeah, Pranay.
Yeah, just get in touch with me LinkedIn, or you can ping me in Telegram. I will give you the information.
Yeah, you have a
But in
GitHub,
that,
right?
no, 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 no. GitHub is not available, and intentionally I have not provided the GitHub link. The reason is, if I'm providing the GitHub link, right, then the students, right, whoever are attending my live sessions, right, they will
Mm-hmm.
get the content from there. They will get the code from there. So what my main objective, you should
Mm.
develop the application on your own machine.
Yeah. That's why just like a reference wherever we can bridge the gap, right? Wherever
Exactly. No, no,
we
that
stuck.
is the reason why. That is
Mm.
the reason why sometimes what I'm doing now
Mm.
after so after 10 to 10 sessions, right? I'm providing the source code so that you
Mm.
should not have a gap. But right until and unless, right? For example, whatever I discussed today, you
Mm.
have to develop this on your machine. You should not get the source code and do this thing. So
True,
until and
true,
unless
true.
you are not doing practice, right? This will not
Yeah,
make sense,
true.
right? Clear, guys?
Yeah, actually, same thing.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm also new to the session. So previous session where I can check it. That is the thing I also have seen.
See, that session means, right, I'm taking some paid session, right?
Hmm.
You can see 150, more than 150 members, right, enrolled to this session, right?
Yeah,
Enrolled to
yeah.
this session,
Kumar,
right?
we want to refer your videos. Where can we
Yeah,
go and refer?
yeah, that is what I'm saying now. So recorded sessions are only for the paid members. Paid members means what? Those whoever enrolled to my training program, they will get all the recorded session and the documents. You can say on a daily basis, I'm providing the recorded session and the documentations, all these things.
Hmm.
So not only this one, for example, if you see this, right, GRPC, I have taken, right, this document I'm sharing to everyone, right? Some sessions I'm making it freely available for everyone so that they came to know the concept, right? So if you are
Oh.
attending this live session or someone else, right, they should know or they should understand, right, what is this concept, how they can implement this concept, right? And
Hmm.
I never shared my source code to anyone else. Yes, I can share this documentation. You have to prepare the source code,
Oh.
and that what I
Can you share
generally.
the can you share the documents for the previous session on the free Telegram groups? Only the documents.
Oh no, so all the session documents I can't share because right, if I'm sharing everything for free, then who is going to join my paid sessions?
Yeah,
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Right? That makes sense
Yeah,
now.
makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Some of the sessions, right, which are important, which are right, which you should know as a developer. Those sessions are right. I'm making some of the sessions are free for everyone. For example, currently I'm discussing some advanced topic. For example, day after tomorrow I'm going to discuss GraphQL. Right. So GraphQL is one of the important concept. I will make that session free. For example, before few days I implement load balancer. I make those sessions free so that you understand what is load balancer, how you can implement load balancer, how you can perform testing using load balancer, right? All right. These are the things. What are the different load balancing technique, random list connection, right? Round robin. What is happening in each case? So I'm making some sessions, right, accessible to everyone, and not all the sessions. Okay, I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
taken
got
more
it.
than two. Yeah, I have taken more than 50 sessions till now.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Great, great. Okay.
Right. And in between, I'm also sharing the source code so that right, student will not get any kind of right. I mean, there should not be any gap. And complete implementation, right? Starting from user service, right? All the right, user service related functionality. And if you see, register, send confirmation, verification email, login, refresh token, rebook token, get profile, right? Update profile, forget password, reset password, change password, right? The complete application development. It is not like right, what I can say, some demo projects. It is complete application development.
So
For
what do you
example,
use for what do you use for authentication?
identity, JWT based authentication,
Oh,
and the
OpenID Connect or JWT?
JWT.
Purely JWT.
Purely JWT, and right, that other kind of external authentication, right, like Google authentication, Facebook authentication.
That's what OpenID
That,
Connect.
yeah,
Single
that is
sign-on.
also I have covered. Yes, that is I have covered, right,
Uh-huh.
but not here. In my ASP.NET core sessions, right? How to communicate, I mean, how to register with, right, what I can say. For example, I think that application should be there.
So that you will have it as a separate web APIs, and then you
Yes,
will consume it
that
on the client.
purpose, see, for that purpose, you need the UI part, right? How to register that, sign in with Google, sign in with right, Facebook. So for that purpose, you need the right uh, UI part.
Yeah, UI you need it. What I'm asking is for the service. For example, register, login, forget password, reset password, all that is there, right? So those all will be uh, like a service only you will API, like an API only you will give, right?
Yes, yes. So I have developed such completely. I have developed a project, but I don't find where that project is.
And one more doubt I want to ask you, if you can tell me, that's good. So is it good to have a mapper, auto mapper, or you can have an extension method for the
Yes,
the
you can.
mapping?
Right. Before one day only, I discussed why you should not use AutoMap.
Ah, so why? I don't know.
Mapperly. Nowadays, companies are using Mapperly. And before one day, I think that's in the last session only, in the Friday only, in the evening, whereas I discussed the concept Mapperly.
So why don't we
AutoMapper is
use extension methods?
AutoMapper. Say, why should I
No,
use extension method? You just tell me. So if you are using AutoMapper, the main downside, main drawback is it is using runtime reflections.
yeah.
And runtime reflection
And if
and
you
what
are if you are using extension method, you can have a granular level of control.
that is what I discussed now in Mapperly.
Hmm. I don't know
Yes,
what you
this
discussed. That's why I'm asking.
so you have not attended the session, right? In the Mapperly only I have discussed, right? How to use Mapperly, right? How it is going to generate the code automatically, how it is
Uh,
giving you performance benefit by using AOT, ahead of time compilation. What code it
uh,
is generating, that code I can show you, right? Practically. That complete application we develop
Mapperly.
Mapperly. Yes, this is the right project that what I have developed to make you understand the concept.
Hmm.
Right? I think that application going to be there. Yes. Here you just need to tell, right, what to map, and the framework is going to generate the code automatically. It is kind of an extension for this method. This is a partial method. That mapping logic is going to be generated by the Mapperly framework automatically. So here you can say Google authentication, Facebook authentication. Even I don't know whether it is going to work or not. The auth client was deleted. So yes, that is fine. Yeah, this is the thing I have created and I have deleted. That is the reason why it is not showing. But yes, we have developed this complete application using identity. Yeah. Yes. Anyone having any more question, guys?
Sir, I have one question.
Please.
So I primarily work on the front end side of the thing, but in my organization, there is a legacy project that uses .NET. So it was a 25-year-old project, and it has used all sorts of .NET version till the latest one.
Sorry,
And
sorry. Can
they
you
have
please
used the
repeat?
CQRS,
So
MVC,
can
and other patterns as
can you
well.
please repeat? Can you please repeat what you were saying?
So I primarily work in a front end domain, but in my
Content
organization, there is a, yeah.
content means what
So
technology you use?
I use React Angular, basically,
Okay.
and Node.js if required.
Okay. Understand. Go ahead.
Yeah. In my organization, they having the project, the legacy project, which uses a .NET. So they have used a .NET from very beginning, from the VB to the C Sharp, the latest one. So I was
Right.
wondering if I want to be a full
See,
stack
see,
developer.
first of all, tell me, .NET means what? The old .NET framework or a .NET Core?
So they have used all sort of things.
How it is possible? So there are a different framework, right? Currently, we are using a .NET Core, which is completely different from .NET framework.
I think he intend to tell, like initially it is developed with VB, then it is maybe VB.NET, and like that, step by step they will try to upgrade. So you want to understand like which is better for him, like that, correct?
So first of all, you need to understand what type of a project you develop, right? If you are using VB or C sharp, that's fine. That is the programming language. But what you are using, .NET Core or .NET Framework? You are working with a ASP.NET Web API or ASP.NET Core Web API. And that project following the monolithic architecture or microservices based architecture. Because some of the features which are available in .NET Framework might not be available in a .NET Core. And some of the advanced concepts they have introduced in .NET Core, which is not available in a .NET Framework. So you need to understand first of all what framework they are using. .NET Core and the .NET Framework, both are different. Anyone else having any more question, guys? Anyone having any more question?
I have a question. You circulated the Angular codes. Are you going to implement the front-end version of this microservice in that Angular codes?
Hey, that is not possible. First of all, this is a complete real-time project, right?
Yes.
And do you think that a single person can implement all these things after explaining all the Angular related concept? That is not feasible, to be saying
Yes, yes.
frankly,
Now I understood. Okay.
right?
So you
But
will
here,
cover
why?
the basic concepts and advanced concepts.
Yes, so that syllabus I have already shared. So this is the things that what you need to understand. Right? So many right chapter, and in each chapter, whatever concept you are going to learn, all see this concept, whatever I'm going to explain, I will explain through real time real time application means real time scenarios, and that definitely will make you understand. But don't consider that whatever application we developed here, that the complete microservices based is going to be there. So for learning
Yes.
Angular, this is not required.
Yes, we will be very happy if you share the Angular syllabus so that we can go through
That
and
Angular
make
syllabus,
decision.
yes. I will share that Angular syllabus. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know whether it will work or not, because we developed this application in the last batch. And after then, I have reshaped. Yeah, this is not working. The SMTP secure connection. Right. Before 1 year, we developed this application. Okay, fine. I'll share that Angular syllabus. Right, that complete syllabus I will share, and you can have a look.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you very much.